Music, news, and culture is possible thanks to member support. Join KCRW or renew your membership today to ensure the station you count on remains independent and authentic. It's easy. Visit kcrw.com/join.
In 1970, I was just graduating from high school. I was a hippie kid from Silver Lake, and nirvana for me and my friends was hitchhiking down Sunset Boulevard to end up at the Source for an Aware salad filled with sprouts and nuts covered with their famous dressing. The Source was everything that was shiny and new. It was hippiedom writ large with an overlay of celebrity cachet. It's also where Diane Keaton meets Woody Allen for lunch in Annie Hall. Remember this scene?
I'm gonna have the alfalfa sprouts and a plate of mashed yeast.
That was alfalfa sprouts and a plate of mashed yeast that he ordered right before calling it quits with Diane Keaton and Annie Hall. The Source restaurant was one of the first organic vegetarian restaurants in LA, but it wasn't just a restaurant. It was a thriving business which supported an experimental community led by the enigmatic Jim Bakker. The Source lives on now in Hawaii, where Damian Paul runs the show, just as he did in Los Angeles. Hi, Damian.
Good morning and aloha.
Aloha to you. How did you arrive at the Source?
Well, I had first met Jim Bakker in October of 1969. I was working in Los Angeles for a sound and light company called Tomorrow Incorporated, and we were hired to do the sound for Yogi Bhajan's play Divine Union. And Jim Bakker showed up there. Robin, who became his wife, and Patrick were both there. I actually was a vegetarian at that time, and I did eat in the Source restaurant. They had terrific food even before I started working there. It was great. I did go there in May of 1970 and was hired as a waiter. I had just come back from touring with Joe Cocker and the Mad Dogs and Englishmen tour. So I went to the Source, and then I became more acquainted with Jim Bakker. That Sunday was his first meditation class, and Robin had hung a sign in front of the Source restaurant saying, "This Sunday at 11 a.m., Jim Bakker will give a class in meditation. Don't be late!" exclamation point. And I thought to myself, well, I've always heard about this meditation. I think I'll come and see what it's all about. And lo and behold, I had a psychedelic experience when I was totally straight. I mean, his face was just surrounded by white light, and it was like he was speaking directly to me. And that was it.
Could you kind of set the scene for us? We are a food show, so I would really love it if you could talk a bit about the food. What were some of the most popular menu items, and who was cooking the food? Was it people who had experience, or were just sweet people sort of thrown into the kitchen and allowed to do their thing?
Well, every item on the menu had a recipe, and you were to follow the recipe almost like McDonald's. Every McDonald's you go to in the United States, if you order an item, it tastes the same and it looks the same, and we were very much into consistency. You have to remember, Jim Bakker had 5 successful restaurants: the Discovery Inn in Topanga Canyon, of course the Aware Inn on Sunset Boulevard, the Old World, the second Aware Inn in the Valley, and then the Source restaurant. So he really was a terrific restaurateur. He knew what he was doing. And when he opened up the restaurant, April 1st, 1969, what inspired him was he had read that book, The Unknown Teachings of Jesus Christ, and had advocated a raw food vegetarian diet. So when he first opened up the Source, that's all he was serving was raw food, vegetarian food, and it did not go over well. In fact, I think he told me later, by August of 1969, he started to add some cooked dishes to the menu because he actually was on the verge of going under with the raw food. So he started adding, rice and some old dishes that he had from the Aware Inn, like the cheese walnut loaf. But one of the best-selling sandwiches at the Source was created by a guy by the name of Bill Lee. And he worked in the kitchen. I don't know what his previous experience was, though he was a devotee of Yogi Bhajan. And he came up with the Source special. It was basically whole wheat bread with a little bit of the source dressing into the bread, which Jim Bakker created the source dressing, guacamole, sliced mushrooms, sliced tomato, a choice of either Swiss Jack or cheddar cheese melted over the top with a little sprinkling of sesame seeds on top of the melted cheese. And then it came with a garnish of romaine lettuce, grated carrots, grated beets, a slice of cucumber, and again with the source dressing over that little garnish. And that was our number one selling sandwich. We did have a food crew that would go in like at 12 midnight, three brothers, I think it was Pythias, Waterfall, and Starman, and they would prep the food for the day. But everything was really, really fresh.
Tell me about the source dressing. I remember everybody was talking about it at that time. People wanted to take gallons of it home.
And we did sell it, by the way. It was bottled and sold all over the United States, in Canada, in supermarkets, natural food stores. It was a dressing Jim Bakker came up with, and it was basically a French herb dressing with sesame seed oil. And everybody's tried to figure out the recipe and all the ingredients since it's been taken off the marketplace.
What was the scene like? Were the people who ended up being part of the family, the community, were they impressed by the celebrities, or was it sort of...
None of us related to personality back then, only truth, and that was kind of part of our spiritual training, and I certainly did not get impressed with the personalities, the celebrities who came in. I remember Charles Bronson coming in with his wife, Jill Ireland, and they sat in the dining room and had a nice dinner, and at the end of his dinner, he lit up a big stogie, and in the nicest tone of my voice, I went up to Charles Bronson and said, "Excuse me, sir, we have a no-smoking policy in the dining room." And he gave me one of those death wish looks, and his wife very nervously went, Charles, just put it out, Charles." And they never came back again. I'm sure he was not used to being told he couldn't smoke a cigar when he felt like it.
You know, I find your path particularly interesting because you've ended up being in the organic food industry for so long, and also your farming experience. So you must have a really amazing overview to see what's happening now and have had this experience of being in it from the very beginning.
Well, I joke around with people. When I became a vegetarian and started working in the natural foods industry in 1970, it was mandatory to wear Birkenstocks and your hair in a ponytail, and things have changed a lot in 43, 44 years. It's definitely gone mainstream.
Is that super satisfying for you?
Yes, it is. I always want to see people choose healthy food, organic food.
Thank you so much, Damien. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Okay, thank you very much, and aloha.
That was Damien Paul. He worked at The Source in Los Angeles in the 1970s and has since transported the organic natural food store to Hawaii. If you're interested in the Source family, check out the recent documentary of the same name. It's available on iTunes, and it is fascinating.